Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's afternoon class. So today our topic is 2.1.3.5. It's on IGBT and the motor control. So what are the topics what we are going to discuss today? Basically, we will see like what is an IGBT, what are the constructional details, means how the IGBT is constructed, and I think you can see the slides. What is the working of an IGBT? What are the various methods of testing an IGBT? And comparison of IGBT with the other power electronic devices like BJT and MOSFET and all. What are the applications? And then you will see like a VFD. What is a VFD? What is a basic concept of a VFD? How it is working? I'll show you some VFDs of the ship, also some diagrams. And the working of the VFDs. Then in that we'll cover up pulse width modulation also. What is a pulse width modulation? And what is a load commutator inverter? And the last we'll have some question and answer sessions. I hope all of you can see the slides.
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's see the starting. So what is an IGBT? IGBT, the full form, it stands for insulated gate bipolar transistor. Okay. So basically it's a combination of a BJT and a MOSFET. You know what is a BJT? What we are covered up in the transistor class. BJT is a bipolar junction transistor, and MOSFET is a metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. When both of them combine, it's become an IGBT. So IGBT is mainly used in power electronics. Power electronic applications like inverters, converters, power supplies, etc. and all, we are using these IGBTs. They are a solid state switching devices. Okay, the first thing is that they are a solid state switching devices. They are all switches, like switching devices. And it has got a high current, high voltage bipolars available, but the switching speeds are low. If you see a BJT, you'll find high current, high voltage, but switching speed is slow. And MOSFET has got a high switching speed. So that is the reasons we combine both the BJT and MOSFET, it became an IGBT. The insulated IGBTs can be used in small signal amplifier circuits also, same like a BJT or a MOSFET. It can be used as an amplifier also, it can be used as a switch also. So when you combine this, basically BJT has got a low conduction losses and MOSFET has got a high switching speed. So these are the two properties. We are making an IGBT from these two power electronic items like BJT and MOSFET. In this you can see like the MOSFET and transistor. If you look at the inside, you can see one side is a MOSFET, other side is a PNP transistor. So both have been put together, then it becomes an IGBT. So the terminals are marked as collector, emitter, and gate. So two of these terminals, collector and emitter, are associated with the conduction path. So like normally if you say transistor, how the conduction is, it is from emitter to collector, is it? In the same way here also it is emitter to collector. So it is emitter to collector, it is associated with the conduction path which passes the current, and the third terminal gate that controls the device. So IGBT combines the low conduction losses of a BJT and a high switching speed of a MOSFET. It's an optimal solid state switch, or which is ideally used in power electronic applications. We'll just touch up in BJT. I hope you have not forgotten what we have covered up in the initial electronic classes. You see that this is a BJT diagram. The BJT and the MOSFET, the difference is that BJT is a current control device, whereas a MOSFET is a voltage control device. Why it is called a current control device? Because a small base current can control the current which is flowing between emitter and collector. You see here in this diagram, you can see here the emit, and this is an NPN transistor. This is an NPN transistor which has got base and emitter is forward biased, and collector emitter junction is reverse biased. So the working principle is the BJT involved in use of voltage between two terminals, base and emitter, to regulate the flow of the current through the collector terminal. So the change in the voltage affects the current entering the base terminal, and this current will in turn affect the output current. So it is shown that the input current controls the flow of the output current. So this transistor is a current control device. Whenever the emitter and base terminals are connected in forward biased, you can see it is forward biased, emitter and base, and collector and emitter is reverse biased. So the flow of the electron direction will be from emitter terminal to the base terminal. In the base terminal, some electrons will recombine with the holes, but the electron field across the base collector junction attracts more electrons. So most of the electrons will end up flowing into the collector terminal to create a huge current. So that's where the amplification is taking place. So the forward bias is applied between emitter and base junction, and the reverse bias is applied between the collector and base junction. So the forward bias voltage, you can see here it is written VEB, that is emitter base voltage, and collector base voltage is VCB. So the emitter of the NPN transistor is heavily doped. So when a forward bias is applied to the emitter, the majority of charge carriers moves towards the base. This causes the emitter current, and the electron enter into the p-type material and combine with the holes. So as the base is lightly doped, due to which few electrons combine with the remaining, constitutes a base current. The base current enter into collector region. So here the amplification is taking place here. The current in the bipolar NPN transistor is the ratio of two currents, that is collector current and base current. This is known as the DC current gain. If you see the beta, it means IC by IB. This is a amplification factor of a BJT. So BJT is a current control device. Now if you look at the MOS effect we call voltage control device. Why? Because we are applying a voltage at the gate. Okay, in case of a BJT, we are applying a current at the base, but here we are applying a voltage at the gate. The MOSFET is a kind of a field effect transistor that consists of three terminals: gate, source, and drain. Okay, I hope you understood this. The BJT is clear. Okay, so MOSFET means it's a kind of a field effect transistor that consists of three terminals: gate, source, and drain. So the drain is controlled by the voltage at the gate terminal. So MOSFET is a gate voltage control device. The voltage that is applied across the gate controls the current flow between the source and drain. Is it clear? So what we have seen is the first part, that is what is IGBT, what are the constructional details. So IGBT is a combination of the BJT and the MOSFET. BJT is a current control device, whereas MOSFET is a voltage control device. This concept should be very clear to you. BJT is a current control device because we are applying a current at the base, which will control the current flowing between the emitter and collector. Whereas in case of MOSFET, we are applying a voltage at the gate, which will control the current flowing between the source and drain. So MOSFET is a voltage control device, BJT is a current control device. Now the IGBT, we have seen like thyristor, we can only switch on with the gate signal. Whereas in IGBT, you can turn on and turn off an IGBT with the gate signal. That is a difference of IGBT. Here you don't need any commutation circuits. Commutation circuit means it is a circuit used for switching off any power semiconductor. An insulated gate bipolar transistor is simply turned on and off by activating or deactivating its gate terminal. That means if you apply a positive input voltage signal,